We interrupt this program to bring you Gary's Mod. And today, I'm going to be exploring a couple of maps based on locations from classic scary kids cartoons. Now, the first of which is GM Middle of Nowhere, which is, of course, the famous farm from Courage the Cowardly Dog. This is so nostalgic. I almost can't believe that I'm seeing this with my own eyes right now. And that's the big... Hello? Sure, that's from the show. Why not just throw it in there randomly? Yeah, I understand it's a little bit different, but this is honestly doing something with VR that I feel like is kind of an overlooked piece of its potential. Sure, we think that VR, in order to be immersive, needs to be as realistic as possible, these high-resolution textures and ray-traced lighting, but I think it can also make us experience things that we've never experienced before, or always wished we could, but just never had the ability. Actually being able to transplant ourselves into a cartoon is certainly childhood wish fulfillment. I mean, I'm actually here. I'm standing in front of the farm. Do you have any idea how many times I wished I could do this? It really is going to be every few seconds with this, isn't it? Such an obnoxious choice to have that music just trigger sporadically. A map like this would actually be a wonderful opportunity to do things like those living books games that used to be around. The ones where you could click on objects and have it play relevant sounds. But look at these twisted, rotted boards. I really appreciate how they've gone for something that really looks like the cartoon, and not just in the shape of the cartoon. From this angle, I feel like the antagonist of a given episode. Scoping the place out before I knock on the door. The way they were always obscured through the screen, leaving you wondering what was going to be there when it opened. Well, with that, I guess that means I would be more of a comedic character. Now, a lot of people have their, scariest episode of this show because it was, incredibly terrifying for a lot of kids, which is why I think so many people liked it so much. I think they appreciated it for really being willing to scare them while it was making them laugh, where so many kids' horror shows, well, they tend to lean so much more towards comedy. Of course, looking out into the desert like this, you can't help but be reminded of the infamous one, which was, of course, King Ramses' curse. Now, that one really did scare me a lot as a kid, but there was one that was so much worse for me. And that was the one with the zombie director. And if we come around, yes, the entrance to the cellar is here. I feel like I know this place. That's how deep this is. I hated any time they were in this cellar, and it was because I knew that director's old partner in crime was buried in that basement. Them doing the ritual to bring him back, having it climb out of the hole in the ground, that episode, I could not sleep at all that night. And I made the mistake of watching it in bed. And of course, another one of my later favorites that I didn't come to appreciate until sometime after was the Spirit of the Harvest Moon, the real face projected to look like a moon who appeared in this basement. Head back out and explore the grounds before we check out the house proper. Here's the chicken coop. Now, I remember this being here, but... can we crawl in? Yeah, I remember this chicken coop always being there because I can remember the shape of it. It's funny how certain images from our childhood just get burned into our memories. But I can't seem to remember anything specific that actually happened here. Now let's go check out the barn. Now the barn, of course, a lot of things happened here, but the thing that I most associate this place with is that one episode, The Hunchback of Nowhere. I kind of wish we had access to the loft up there. That was kind of a big part of the show, but, I feel like kids' shows, they sort of prime you for how to think about certain things. They actually have a lot of power in that way. And what the episode The Hunchback of Nowhere did was, well, for those who don't know, I guess I'll explain what the episode's about. So, the, I guess, creature of the week that shows up at their door in that episode was this hunched-over, green-skinned, scarred-faced little guy who everyone just, he's so ugly that everyone just screams and runs at the sight of him or kicks him out or sends him away. But all he really wants is a place to stay, somewhere to get out of the storm. And of course, Eustace being Eustace just slams the door in his face, but Courage ends up, feeling sorry for him and inviting him to come stay in the barn. And in the end, they make music and, play around in the rafters, and they have all kinds of fun together. And I think with an episode like that, and also with numerous other episodes of the show, such as, The Wishing Tree and Robot Randy, it kind of impresses on kids not just the stock lesson of, don't judge a book by its cover, but also the value in understanding things, of not acting impulsively or on your first instinct. In the same way that a show like Scooby-Doo teaches kids to think critically and analytically, I feel like this show, oddly enough, this show, where there was always this cast of monsters and freaks and weirdos, it was never like because of their appearance that you should be afraid of them. As a matter of fact, ugliness was almost kind of baked into the show. A lot of the time, the main characters wouldn't even notice whatever was wrong with whoever was coming to the door. Of course, there is also the popular fan theory that, everyone who showed up was generally normal, or if they had malicious intent, was in some more realistically understood way, such as robbery. But what we were seeing was just Courage's interpretation. I can't believe I'm walking into this living room, but more importantly, I can't believe how familiar it feels. Can we turn on the TV? Those look like buttons. Oh, we can! And it's a camera of this house. Can I see myself on the TV if I step outside? I can't tell. I'm having to squint at it. Maybe I could spawn something afterwards. For that matter, where is that camera hanging? It appears to be coming from the sun. The blazing hot sun. I can almost feel like how sweltering and dry it is out here. Makes me want to get inside and turn on the fan. Don't mind me, just waiting for the music to stop. See, this is that area that you never see, that back hallway between the living room and the kitchen. Can we open this? Nope, sadly. I did forget that there was a window over here, though. It's crazy to see it in 3D. I just kicked my garbage can. It's crazy to see it in 3D because it's astonishing what feels familiar and what doesn't. Because there are certain angles that you've just never seen it from before. Presumably, a cartoon will be working with a number of pre-made stock angles that they draw all the action onto. Now let's head upstairs. Oh, wait, no. I have to get the angle that I always wanted to see. Right here. Anytime something was going on in the living room, Courage would always crouch down the stairs and look through the bars like this. Unfortunately, VR is not going to let me get that low, but I always wanted to see it this way. Now, let's see what we've got here. This must be Eustace and Muriel's room. Nothing here, but, there's the attic stairs. Which just leaves the bathroom. And if we're going down memory lane, of course, I always associate this with that one scene from Freaky Fred. Now, I think Freaky Fred stood out in a lot of people's minds because of just how out of place it is with the rest of the show. Normally we'd have, like, a monster or some kind of creature trying to get at Courage. But in this one, he was just a guy, and throughout the whole thing, he doesn't really do anything wrong. The worst he does is shave Courage against his will, which is pretty bad, but the whole thing is just so unnerving. in the way he has this obsession, in the way he talks about it and delivers his lines. And it's made even worse by how jarring it is. It's just not like any other episode of the show. And what's more, even though he doesn't actually do anything particularly wrong, he was in the nut house. And when he leaves, they come and get him pretty quickly after that. So the implication is there that, for as mostly innocuous, if not still quite insane as he seems, he must have done something pretty bad at some point in the past. And it's just not going to fill you in on what that was. Well, I think the last of this map is to go up to the attic. Oop. Let's see what's here. Oh, it's the computer. I always hated this guy so much. So passive-aggressive, could never just help, even though he always already knew the answer. Actually, though, I will say, I wish I had the skills to Google something and get the result that I'm looking for as quickly as this. Now, before I move on, I suppose I may as well check out the night version of the map as well, at least briefly. Oh, look at the size of that moon. That is gorgeous. And looking around this attic, I'm actually kind of impressed at how cozy they got the lighting. That was something I always liked about this space, was whenever it was at night, this one light would be on, and it would be this, yellow little loft looking out onto the dark landscape of the desert below. I always thought it seemed so cozy. I imagined putting a bed in the corner here, push the computer against the wall there. Alright, let's have a look at the rest of the house. See if they're doing any other of the particular lighting things I remember from the show. It looks like they are. Oh, but that...
Return the slab. What? Return the slab. Or suffer my curse.
Okay, I was half expecting there to be a sprite out there in the desert at the edge of the draw distance. Oh man, that's programmed deep. That actually, for a moment, that actually caused a little bit of internal panic.
Return the slab.
Are you getting closer, actually? Is this something I need to really be worried about? But yeah, seeing that green glow, it's actually reminding me, I can't remember what the episode was about exactly, but I seem to remember there being an episode where Muriel was possessed. It was like a parody of The Exorcist or something, and the whole room just had this green glow to it. Very much like this, although it wasn't in the kitchen, it was in their room.
What's your...
Okay, that went on for a long time, but, God, I didn't even remember I remembered that song. I found that song so creepy as a kid. And I'm really not sure why. I mean, it's almost being delivered as if it's from some 70s dating game type of show, but... Oh, shut up. You're getting repetitive at this point. The way it's just repeated like that, in that almost monotone... I found it really unnerving, even though I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be funny. But I guess I've seen about all there is to see here. Let's move on to the next one. And for our next map, one that I am super hyped about, it's the Mystery Shack from Gravity Falls. Now, Gravity Falls is one that I don't quite have the same nostalgic investment in as Courage the Cowardly Dog, because it's a little after my time. I was already pretty much done with high school when this was coming out, but I did watch a fair bit of it, and I just thought it was so great. Not just for the week-to-week, monsters, not just for the mysteries and running questions that it had all throughout, but for the characters and the way they interact with each other and, the stories that emerge over the entire time. I haven't seen every episode, in fact, probably far from it, because I only saw it sporadically. The only one I watched when it came out was the finale. But it just had so much going for it. The way it drew its environments, too. It really made me want to visit the Pacific Northwest, which to this day I still haven't done, but I feel like I'd have a lot of fun with that. Now, the reason I tell you all this is because I'm not really going to be able to engage so much with, like, the references and details like that. But I can't wait to explore this. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is that this is quite a bit bigger than what I was expecting. Well, let's head inside, I guess. Oh, wait, no. We can take the tour by entering through the side entrance, I guess. That appears to be a cellar door. Maybe we can go in through there later. See, unlike the Courage the Cowardly Doghouse, I do actually have the benefit of not being too familiar with this, and so I am actually exploring this, instead of it being like, you know, returning to a childhood home and being like, oh, I want to see this room. No, now I want to see this room. Hello, that's a very long car. And all I know is that I want it. Now, this place I do recognize. And much like with Courage the Cowardly Dog, it is quite a trip to be standing here. Well, let's take a step back into the museum, I guess. You know, I know this was like a lighthearted children's show, but when I enter an establishment like this, all I can think about is Captain Spaulding's murder tour. Ooh, as we step beyond the curtain, things get a little darker and spookier. I can't wait to see what this is actually like, considering what a scam this place is meant to be. Those arrows are pointing in two different directions. Oh, I see. They're pointing to exhibits. It's like those helpful red circles in pictures that had the subject immediately in front and focus. The Invisible Man? Oh, do they let more than one person on the tour at once? Because if so, I can totally ruin this entire vibe just by standing here. Okay, more arrows pointing at not much. Six-pack-o-lope. Can we open these, or is it just nothing? And a picture of a horse riding a horse. I like how the whole room is set up so that it kind of draws you to this as like the final conclusion. Like they really saved the best for last with this one. Yeah, my brother always says if horses didn't want to be ridden, they shouldn't have been shaped like chairs. And this is where they kick you out. Now, what's through here? Ooh. I don't remember this from the show. I wonder, over the course of the series, how much of this you can actually get an idea of the layout, and how much is just kind of, you know, filling in the blanks on the part of the map creator. Still, it's really got this thing going for it that the show had, which, while still looking cartoony, it just had such a cozy vibe. The way the show drew the forests and the trees, and the way it handled lighting. I mean, I always thought the Mystery Shack was such a cozy-looking place. And you know what? I always thought the bedrooms upstairs looked really nice. Let's see if we can get up there. Can we... Oh, the light switches actually work. Oh, this fireplace would be nice. What are you doing putting the couch over there? Put it right here, right in the front and center. I guess this is meant to be like a party room, but still. There's nobody here now. Now this looks more like I've stumbled onto a haunted mansion. This is the real mystery tour. Break room. So does this connect to the front then? No, this is this. Which means that to get back to where I was going, I can go through here, right? Now this is a real throne. Oh, you could get like 3 people to climb up on here. Let me on. I understand why Grunkle Stan loves this life. Honestly, what more do you need? You got your creepy forest cabin in the middle of the Pacific Northwest, a giant couch, and an even gianter TV where you can just sit here watching cartoons away from everybody while this place just sucks in money. Why would you ever leave this spot in that situation. Honestly, his crime is being too ambitious. He puts too much effort into the things that he does because he doesn't need to. He already has everything. Look, perfect spot. Perfect spot to have breakfast. Just sit right here next to a friend, staring out the window into those beautiful forests. I love this place even more than I thought I would, and I thought I would like it quite a bit. Hi. You call this thing an exhibit, meanwhile they're mass-produced and able to be hung just all over the place. What are you? His office. I wonder if there's not maybe a way to open this safe? If I can find some kind of clue to that, this might be a job for Officer Platscreen. To type in that keypad and maybe see what's in there. Or a job for Monsieur Noclip. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Now this is probably just a side door, yes, leading onto that absurdly long car. And we can head upstairs. Now this is an absurdly long and wide staircase. I am starting to get the impression that the scale here might be just a little bit off. Now what's through here? I'm starting to feel like this place is much more hallway than it is room. Imagine living here and having to make your way down the hall on a stormy night to get a glass of water. I keep making myself jealous. Well, this is a lounge. I thought I was on my way to the bedrooms. But then again, I think they were in the attic in the show, right? Yeah, this is a nice little lounge. I really doubt the functionality of that fireplace, though. It appears to be completely boarded up. I imagine a lot of this is reference to things and events in the show. I just don't get a lot of it. Like, even though I get the gist of everything that happens, even though I know the broad story, there's a lot of in-between episodes that I just haven't seen. I've really got to get back into it. Hello? Yep, this is his room, all right. Imagine the confidence required to hang a portrait of yourself over your own bed. Do you see what I'm saying when I say that this is a guy who has got things figured out? He is living the life. He is living the dream. I've never wanted to be anybody else but Grunkle Stan. Oh, we can even climb in the closet. If this were a horror map, I'd be concerned that I have to hide in there. Maybe that could be something for next bots. Can we open this safe? Oh, we actually can. This one's not even secured. But it's a decoy safe, clearly. All the real loot is in the one in the office. States I'm banned in. Oh, that's quite a rap sheet, but not this one. Oh, can't come here, though. Yeah, one of these days, I've wanted to go to the Pacific Northwest ever since the show came out. It looks so amazing. I just got to figure out something to do specifically so it's not a waste of a trip, because... Or maybe it would be cool to just blind fire it. I don't know. All I know is that I've never been farther west in this country than Chicago. And even Chicago was quite a significant outlier. Now, I believe there's still one more level up we can go. Bouncy, 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 bouncy. These stairs are not clipped. This is quite a spooky attic, but where are the bedrooms? Through here, maybe? Ah, yeah, here's their room. I kind of like that, how I guess like he didn't know what to do getting these two kids, and so he was just like, here, this corner of the attic's a little less spooky than the other one. Something about the way the beds were drawn just always looks so comfy, in addition to everything else. Like, they just did something with the texture of, like, the blankets and stuff that looked so nice. Let's climb up here and take a look out the window. Come on. Although I suppose a certain amount of comfort is lost in essentially living over a business, especially a fairly busy one like this. Oh, there's actually a loft. I never even knew about this. Now this is a spot where you just sit down in a corner and read. Look, there's even boxes to prop yourself up against. And some kind of weird mushroom. Look, the way this light is being cast through a stained glass window, this is a reading loft, if I ever saw one. Oh, there's so much more to this than I ever gathered from watching the show. Nice little TV room with a makeshift sheet for privacy. And I just realized their TV table is a coffin. Are fish supposed to have fur like this? I guess I should explore the grounds, see if the creator has hidden any hideables out here. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to venture too far into the woods. Oh, hello. I almost didn't see that. Oop. You're a physics prop. Wait, that mushroom's a physics prop. No, gimme. Come here. You're below my floor. Thank you. What happened to it? It disappeared when I grabbed it. Does something happen if I grab the others as well? I saw one upstairs. But what is down this pit? Whoa! Oh, that's still a long way down. I think I'm still falling. Was there a level transition? I think I found where the mushroom came from. Well, I wasn't expecting this. A couch with, like, holes and stains on... Does Stan just throw his garbage down here? I feel like I vaguely remember something about a pit, actually, but I don't remember them ever going down there. I guess they did at some point, and this is what was here. This looks like some kind of mine shaft. That just redeposits me right back here. Okay. That was fun. This whole map is so cool. Oh, I forgot about this. The little hangout spot on top of the windows. Yep, this looks like a cool place to chill. How do you get here and how do you get down is another question altogether. Nice view, though. Goes great with listening to the birds chirp. Got the shade. And what looks to be a clearing across the way. Hang on. Nope, nothing over there. It's the edge of the map. Oh, well. Oh, you know what? I actually completely forgot about these cellar doors. Come on. There we go. Stuff like this is always hard to do because BR wants to place a flat floor under me. Not much of a note down here, though. Nice little hangout spot, but... I mean, do you really need it when you've got so many better ones just upstairs? Now, I will be fully honest about how what's about to happen came to be. Also, it's really cool just to be sitting behind this register. The only thing I need is a wooden stool to lean on with my feet on the desk. I was doing a no-clip run around the map, as I do after every video, to see if there was anything major that I missed. and I did find something. And usually what happens then is to go in as unspoiled as I can. Instead of no-clipping into the area that I found, I'll try and trace it back to some entrance to see if I can get there. And I traced it back to, well, oddly enough, behind this vending machine. So I have a hunch, given the extra 3D nature of this, that yes! And having seen the last bunch of episodes, I think I know what this is leading to. Oh, this is so cool. Hello? Maybe something to do with that panel? Ah, here we go. All right. Oh, it is. Okay, hang on. Let's do this. I always loved this about the show, how, you know, in addition to being, you know, the whatever of the week, it also had these through lines and these mysteries, like the serial mystery for kids. And I don't know if that had really been done before. I mean, that's almost what it was. It was almost like Twin Peaks for kids. Wow, we are going down a long way. I need to go back and watch the rest of the show. I mean, even though I'm familiar with this area, I'd really love to see the whole thing from the start. I feel like I really robbed myself of that by considering myself too old for this kind of thing when it came out. Just learning that, like, there was so much more going on, and getting hints of that throughout the series, and then gradually learning what it was all about. What other kids show had the patience for that? What other kids show, like, trusted its target audience to be along for that ride? And here is where we cross over with Rick and Morty, I guess. Now the only question is, what is this map creator going to do when we... I could have sworn I just saw somebody standing in that corner for like a second. That could have just been my peripheral vision doing weird things. It is pretty dark in here, but that gave me a bit of a start. Yep. Yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Nothing? Okay. Maybe there's something I have to do in the other room. Okay, so as is appropriate for the source material, the plot thickens. So not only was I on the right track with picking up those mushrooms, I've just found out there's actually a lot more to this map. In order to trigger this, we actually need to find all 3 of the books. Now, I haven't found a single one yet, but, well, there's actually a lot more to discover in this map is what I'm finding. Alright, the bulk of the investigation here is going to be performed by Officer Flatscreen, mainly because there are certain things which may not work so well in VR if they require interaction, and I really want to make sure that everything goes smoothly. Now, I know in broad strokes some of what I need to do. I know that, obviously, I'm going to have to open that safe somehow, and I also read somewhere that we need to find 6 mushrooms to get one of the books. That's just from randomly perusing the workshop page, but I already got 2. I got 1 in the loft, and I found 1 over by the pit. And of course, there's probably even more down in the pit. And if we're going to be thorough, more specifically, let's have a look under here, because I can... It wouldn't be here if it wasn't a thing, yes. 6 times mushroom equals present. And one which we can't just crowbar open, apparently. Okay, so we've got to find 4 more, pretty much just confirming what we already knew. Oh, and it's a mushroom hunt. First and most logical place to check would definitely be down here. Oh, that is such a long distance to fall. Oh, it's like I'm playing Infra all over again. Except the mushrooms aren't glowing. One here. Nothing in the box, though. That's a physics prop, actually. And something was here at one time. That's 3 mushrooms now. And I don't see any others. Of course, we know from the one in the loft that they can be in the house. And having gone through the whole place already, we really gotta look in every nook and cranny. I feel like a kid on an Easter egg hunt. Anything in the bathroom? Mushrooms grow in bathtubs, right? At least they do in mine. Hello, what's that under there? Oh, nice reference. I believe the creator says on the workshop page that pretty much all models are made by them. Cabinets. That is some weird door orientation. Hi. So in a flashlight, there actually is something there. Oh, that is so funny. And so weird. Oh, we can see under this one as well. Oh, there's one. That'll be, what, number 4 out of 6? I wonder if the code to the safe isn't maybe going to be something that's from the show, and not something that can be found in the map. Right here. This is taking a really long time. I already spent a long time in the house itself, but I don't know if there's going to be any more in there. That should only require one more then, right? Okay. Even after looking to the workshop for a guide, because I've been at this for a while, I still couldn't figure out what it meant by this. I was just kind of like spamming E at this point. Okay, the final mushroom should be in here somewhere. Yes, I think that was it. Yep, there we go. Never would have gotten that on my own. Okay, now I imagine that our prize will be under here. Yes, and now we get 1 out of 3. Oop. Oh, we'll probably have to take this downstairs, right? Okay, well, let's do it and see what happens. Now it's going to be a question of, when I get down there, what do I do with it? Like, is there going to be a table that I have to place them on? If it doesn't snap onto something, I'm going to have no idea what it is I'm supposed to be doing. There we go. I was stuck for a second there. Right there, yes. Okay, 1 down, 2 more to go. Now, the other one's obviously going to be in the safe. I have no idea where to even start with the other. Now, people are saying 3581. Yeah, I don't know if there's any context on the map for that. It actually sounds vaguely familiar, so it probably just is the combo from the show. And that's where we get 2. Honestly, at a loss for how to even start on 1. Because I didn't feel too bad about this, because, you know, I've been looking on my own for a long time, and I only have so much time to put into this, and I at least knew, like, vaguely where I should look. Like, I knew I had to open the safe, I knew I had to find mushrooms. I don't have even the vaguest idea of where to start looking for a final journal. Place number 2. And I only need 1 more. So in the workshop discussions on how to complete this map, I have found one sort of vague tip. And if this is true, then I really don't feel bad about looking it up. So they said to press E on all the photos of Stan. This has got to be one of those things from the show, because I would never think to do that. And I'm going to look for these on my own for a little bit, you know, try and put at least, like, some effort into this. Because I know I've seen a bunch more of them around. They actually do stand out quite a bit. There's one. What about you? Do you count? Well, that'll do it. Maybe it only opened because I got the others? Yes. Okay, that's all 3. Did not expect this saga to reach a conclusion so quickly. Alright, let's get back down there. This map has so much more to it than I expected. And, even though it's a little bit annoying, it's really only here for people who want to dig in. And that's what's cool about this map, is that, it could just be an eye candy map for people who want to experience a location they're familiar with from TV. But if you really want to get into the spirit of that show, it offers you the opportunity to really dig deep and do that much more. In a way where you're probably never going to stumble onto it on your own. You have to really, really be searching for yourself. Finally, I have them all. The question is, what now? Maybe I'll head back to VR for this one. Let's throw the switch and see what this does. Should I be backing up? It's opened a portal. What do I do now? Okay, I don't remember this. I can probably use that to jump in, though. These fields of grain are all the way up to my neck. It's like I'm wading through an ocean. And that looks like the Mystery Shack, only totally isolated and shrouded in shadow. And there's a boat over there? What's that about? Just in the middle of a field? What kind of bizarro world have I gotten myself into? It's like I've glitched out of reality. There's an invisible wall, though. I can't make my way all the way over there. I do not remember this from the show. Not until I've seen what's inside. I have to know what this is all about. No, there's an invisible wall. I can't actually walk up to the shack itself. But it's like I've glitched out of reality itself and into some kind of bizarro version. And the whole thing just feels, for as kind of pretty as it is, it just feels so empty. Like fragments of memories. The field, the boat, the Mystery Shack, individually they're all, their own thing, but they don't seem to belong here. It's like they're just scattered around like toys from a toy box. Well, I suppose we don't have any choice but to leave now. Is that what this does? Is it bringing me to alternate versions of this reality? Or maybe different points in time of the same reality? It is so pretty to see it this way, though. When that summer cabin becomes a winter cabin. But much like the previous world, it all just feels so empty. Is somebody here? Everything's been closed off, and there's all these cables and ropes and machines scattered all over the place. What happened here? This is not just a different time, right? It can't be. Unless we're seeing something well before. Or maybe well in the future? We can only go upstairs. Which is just as well, because judging by that sound, someone's clearly here with me. I take back what I said before about this hallway being comfy to walk down in the middle of the night. Hi. Is there something else to be found here? Can't go through there. Maybe something in the closet? Wait. That looks like some kind of lever. Can we turn the lights on? No, of course we can't. Oh, this is going to be so difficult. This is what I turned VR off for before. See how standing on top of it wants me to elevate my entire body? Alright, my solution to this is to use OVR to lower myself down a grade. That should at least enable me to hold this. The question is, where do I go to put it? I mean, it looks like one of the levers for the elevator, but I don't know if... What do you want? Okay, I imagine you're probably important, but I don't have time to deal with that right now. There's only so many different ways I can go, so that cuts down on the possibilities some, I guess. But where would I put something like you? There's gotta be somewhere I can use you, but I just can't... Wait, maybe right here? Yes! Yes! I know that silhouette. Yep. It was... Hang on, it was a bad dream. That I can't see that very well in VR at all. The nephews will arrive in a couple of days. I need to get ready. Gravity Falls, USA. Dangerous place. Where you are, I will bring you back. And it just plops us right back here. Now, I understand some of the characters and imagery that were involved there, but I really don't know enough about the show to really make a guess as to what that's actually meant to be, what's going on there, and where I went, and what those final messages meant, but maybe those of you who are more familiar with the show can fill me in the comments, because that was insane. And I have to once again reiterate, this is a children's show that inspired this. Even if everything we just saw isn't from the source material, even if it is an original thing that this creator has done, I don't know, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I guess the takeaway, and the thing that I really want to shout from the rooftops... Actually, hang on, we can literally shout this from the rooftops. The biggest thing to me about Gravity Falls is that with its formatting, with its characters, with its story, for a children's show, it really trusts its audience a lot. And it's a really nice trend that I'm seeing. Shows are starting to recognize that kids aren't stupid. That as long as you present things in the right way, you can introduce them to certain ideas in a way that they'll understand and really get them thinking. And that's a great thing for shows to do. It's so easy for shows to say, we'll just do whatever. We'll do recycled plots. We'll do shallow characters. They're kids. They're not going to care. And yeah, if that's all you give them, they're probably not going to care. But they're capable of taking so much more. And I think that's the philosophy that Gravity Falls had. That if you just give them more to engage with, they will engage with it, and they'll be all the better for it. But if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest those will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try either of these maps for yourself, those will also be linked down below. And as always, I will see you in the next one.